Welcome back, Redemption Builders. Today's lesson is on faith versus fear. We're spending so much time on the private leader because this is a reality. The private leader has to spend a lot of time on themselves, and it's essential that you become a strong private leader before you become a strong public leader, and definitely before you become an influential leader. So the 3 points that we want to cover today in faith versus fear are your foundation, your trajectory, and also your inner peace. First, we want to deal with your foundation. Is your foundation rooted or anchored in faith or fear? Where do you land when adversity hits? Each of us have had situations where we needed a power bigger than us, or a brain bigger than us, or a team bigger than us to accomplish a goal. That's faith. You have confidence in something bigger than you. I'm not going to push religion, but sometimes you're going to need faith and confidence in something way bigger than you, and something bigger than what you can see in this world. So that's faith. Or fear. Do you resort to this fearful tactic, the fight or flight response, where you're emotionally driven and you're driven and tossed by whatever comes your way? So if your foundation is rooted in fear versus faith, you need to start transitioning over to the faith side. Not necessarily a religion specifically, but you need to have some place to land, some place to anchor yourself. That way you don't have a lot of ebbs and flows of your leadership capacity. Secondly, trajectory. Your foundation determines your trajectory. How high are you launching? And your trajectory, obviously, is if it's rooted in faith and instead of fear, your foundation is going to be solid instead of being all over the place. A fearful foundation is going to be, your trajectory is going to be different every single time. You're not going to launch as far, you're not going to launch as high if you're not rooted in a solid foundation. So your trajectory. We want you guys to have a trajectory that is truly rooted in faith and not fear. When adversity strikes, when times are good, when extreme success happens, we want you to be rooted in faith and have confidence in something bigger than you. Because if your confidence is just in yourself or just in situations, you're going to be let down. And lastly, your inner peace. Your inner peace is truly determined by these things that we talked about before. Faith versus fear as a foundation, and faith versus fear as a trajectory. With those things being your platform and your launching, like how high and how far, your inner peace is determined by those things. Not saying that you're going to be extremely successful. We talked about that before. You might be the person that nurtures somebody else's success, which you have to be okay with. But your inner peace is going to come from really an area outside of you. Your inner peace can't be driven by situations. It can't be driven by what you have. It's got to be driven by something bigger than you. Your inner peace is going to be determined by how much you are anchored and how much you are aligned with your purpose. If you're running around in fear all the time and launching from different places, unsettled at all times, and there is no true foundation, you're not going to have inner peace. You're going to have compromise at every turn. But if you have a strong foundation, if you have a strong trajectory, your inner peace is going to be strong. And then you're going to, all these things work together. We talked about stress management. Your stress is going to be very low because your inner peace is going to be solid. So that's our lesson for today. We want you to choose faith versus fear every single day. And like I said, we're dealing with each one of these issues and stretching them out because they are very important. Faith versus fear, that is an essential characteristic of a public and private leader, but specifically a private leader right now. So if you can master this skill, you're going to be very good in the long run. So thank you. We'll end with our Redemption Builders mantra. I respect myself. I respect others. I influence every environment that I am in. Thank you. See you next week.